Hello, my name is Philip Rulo with Rultract, and today I'm going to walk you quickly through the setup of the Rultract paniculectomy retractor. Now, the first thing that you're going to do is to put your Rultract post clamp on the OR table bed rail. Now, I put this clamp right about where the flap of skin is for the Pannus, so it's somewhere near the hip level. Now, what we usually do is we'll put this over the drape and then have someone go underneath the drape to tighten the handle. And then if you need to, you can drape over it as well. So go ahead and tighten that as tight as you can get it. It's very important when you put the post clamp on the table that you make sure that they're aligned directly across from one another, because they do need to be joined over the table. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be very close. So go ahead and eyeball it, make sure that they're directly across from one another. Next, we're going to put on the top post. Now, this just sits right on the bottom post clamp. Go ahead and rotate it, make sure it's properly seated. Now what we're going to do is put the coupler bar on. And the first thing that you'll do with this is go ahead and put the tube into the coupler bar. Line it up. I think you can see that. There's an alignment mark right there. Go ahead and line it up to that alignment mark and then tighten the lock knob. Now, there'll be somebody on the other side of the table that will take their tube and insert it into the coupler bar. Now, you're not going to tighten this yet, but you do not want to let it go. So go ahead and take it up and set it right up on top of the post. Now go ahead and tighten your lock knob. So this is now securely in place. Next, you're going to take your rotating extender bar and attach it to your short extension. This just slides right on. Now you'll notice I have this almost looks like an L, and then I put the rotating extender bar onto it, and then I tighten the lock knob into the detent. So it's going to look like this. Then you're going to just drop it onto the vertical extension. Make sure that your lock knobs are opened in order to place this on the vertical extension. Go ahead and drop it on. Goes in here. And then tighten your lock knob in the back to make sure that it's secure. Now, if during the procedure you need additional height, you can loosen that lock knob and raise this up and down, obviously, to get the additional height. The other nice thing is if you decide after retracting the Pannus back this direction, once we get to right underneath the coupler bar, we may want to start to retract the Pannus even further toward the head of the patient. If you want to do that, all you need to do is lift up your short extension and drop it on the vertical extender bar facing the opposite direction. Something else that's important is if during the procedure this particular piece is in your way, you can loosen the knob on the top and just push it out of the way so you're not bumping into it. And you can also readjust the angle of retraction of the Pannus if necessary. The next piece we're going to put on is the Rultract ratchet assembly. Now, when you put this on, make sure your lock knob's open all the way, and then you'll want the handle facing out towards the surgeon or the assistant. You go ahead and slide that back, leaving two detents exposed. If you put it back too far, you won't be able to turn this handle. So you're going to put it back far enough where there are two detents exposed. And then go ahead and tighten your lock knob. Then you can tighten your rotating extender bar into position. Next, we're going to attach our ahab bars. This is what the surgeon will attach the towel clips to. The towel clips go into the Pannus, then the towel clips are attached to the ahab bar. So go ahead and put that onto your snap clip and pull it down. You want to flip your lever to pull it down if it doesn't come down. And then if necessary, we can also add a third extension in the center. I would say 80% of the cases that I've been in, we haven't had to use the center. But if you do decide you want to, you will have an additional piece. Go ahead and put it on, leaving two detents exposed. Tighten it into place. And put your ahab bar on and lower it to the incision. So that's the setup of the Rultract paniculectomy retractor. Once the pannus has been dissected, we're ready to remove the Rultract from the table. Now, in most cases, the towel clips are still attached to the ahab bars, which are attached to the pannus. So if that's the case, and you still have these ahab bars attached to the pannus, you can use these bars that are attached to the towel clips to lift the pannus from the OR table. You can either have somebody on the other side lift with you, or if it's not too heavy, you can lift by yourself and remove it. So it's very important when we take the Rultract down that we do not just lift the coupler bar with all of these pieces on it, because it's too heavy and it will fall forward. So what you want to do is take it off piece by piece. So first you're going to wind your cable up, and then you can go ahead and take these ratchet assemblies off. And then I would remove the small extensions with the rotating extender bar. And then we're going to take the coupler assembly off. Now it's important, again, you want to hold it from the middle and lift, and keep your hand on the tube and the bar at the same time, because we're not sure if these are tight. They're supposed to be, but sometimes people don't tighten them and the tube could fall out. So once you're sure that it's secure, go ahead and hand it off and remove it from the field. Next, you want to remove your top post, which just lift right off. And then in some cases, the surgeons don't want to be disturbed, so they will leave the post clamp on the rail. If you want to remove it, just go underneath the drape, loosen the handle, and remove it from the rail. So thank you for taking the time to watch the video. If you have any questions, please email or call. Have a nice day.